Hello, right. I've put oil in it and I've put coolant in it. The battery's on, everything's hooked up, accelerator's hooked up, choke's hooked up. I might as well try and start it. I'm not going to drive it because it's a little bit dark now and it's just trying to rain as well a little bit. But I've got the bumper on and I've got the grill centre piece on. So everything's back together now. I'm looking on the table. I can't see any parts left. So let's recap then. This is a French Flatty. It's 30 thou over with used pistons on 7 bores and 60 thou over with a used piston on 1 bore. It has damage to the 1 bore and I've took the heads off. I've inspected the valve bowl that was damaged and that looks okay. I've reassembled it with the same head gaskets, old head gaskets, so you know, who knows what might happen there. It's got the repaired crank and the built up thrust faces on the bearing. So keep your fingers crossed. Let's see if it'll start. Well, it started up easy enough, didn't it? Now, I can hear that it's got a whine, and that is a whine that you get with a mismatched cam and crank gear, because I had to change the gear before in this engine actually. But I'm not going to worry about that because I know what that is and it might get better. I made a bit of a mess putting the oil in, but it's running. It's a bit sort of condensation-y. Got the garage door open. Right. Well, it is cold. It's not cold today. It's about 8 degrees C, and I've just filled it with 2050 oil, and the oil seems really thick to be honest, but that's £80 at a fast idle because I've got a little bit of choke on it. Let's see if I can just get the ammeter charging like that. So it's about 60 psi now. Oh, battery's going on the phone. Okay, at least the engine is in. I'm not going to try pressing the clutch yet, because I want to run it like this to get plenty of oil around that rear bearing and let it kind of run in. Because it fired virtually immediately, the oil pressure was 0 for probably about 3 seconds, something like that. It was, you know, and then the oil pressure came up. That's interesting, isn't it? The oil pressure just came up then. I wasn't aware of the revs coming up significantly. This is a bit reluctant, isn't it? Unless the battery's okay and it doesn't need to charge it. Don't know what's going on with the oil pressure. Didn't take long to suddenly drop down to 20, did it then? I don't know whether I should be worried about that or not. This is a 59A type pump. That's charging now. Actually, it's come up to temperature okay, hasn't it? Quite quickly, to be honest. 180. This oil pump is the one out of the plodder Flatty that was suffering from low oil pressure. So it would appear that this pump isn't great, wouldn't it? I was just interested to see what this pump would do in a different engine. But anyway, it is running. I'm hoping this oil pressure isn't a result of the rear bearing trashing itself again. There's no reason why it should be. Electric fan. Where I spilt all the oil. It's running good, isn't it? Running nice actually. Let's turn that electric fan off a sec. It isn't making that whining now as bad as it was. No, that's a lot better. Okay, right. I don't think there's much to be gained from running it and running it and running it. There's a little bit of something in the exhaust, but not too much. I might struggle to get this out of there. What I will do, I'll probably run it a couple of times just like this to get plenty of oil circulating around the engine, and then I'll take it for a run on the road, and when I do, I will be sure to invite you along. Okay? So I imagine in a few seconds in the video we'll be driving along, so join me for that. So we've took that engine out, put that engine in, turned the key and it fired. It's pretty good, isn't it, really? Okay, thanks a lot for joining me in the garage. Take care and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers then, bye. Hello, welcome to Mart's garage. I started and ran the engine yesterday. I haven't driven the truck yet. I remembered that I had forgotten, if that makes sense, the nut on the anti-chatter rod. I did make a mess when I put the oil in yesterday, but I have noticed quite a lot of oil down on the floor. That is where I need to get my hand in to put the anti-chatter rod nut on. I'm only running one on the truck. There should be two, but I have only fitted one. It seems to drive okay with just the one. There seems to be quite a lot of oil down his side there, which could just be due to me spilling it when I poured it in. Yeah, it looks a mess, doesn't it? Right, first thing first then, I will see if I can get up there and put that nut on there. So I'll do that first. It looks like I really did just pour tons of oil everywhere. I was a bit slapdash with it yesterday. I'm just using my phone as a flashlight, or a torch as we say. Okay, other than that, things don't look too bad. Just you know, when you're under the car, you just have a general look around. So let's get that nut on, and I'll check the oil level. Ooh, great big hole. Hello. I'll check the oil level, and I think I still need to add some water. So I'll do those things, and maybe we could go for a little drive before it gets busy. Okay, righto, back in a bit. Hello, right, we're out in the truck. The first drive with this repaired crank. I've driven down the road and I've tried to use the clutch as little as possible. It's very difficult though when you're in amongst traffic. We're running about 27 psi. Right, okay, we're going for it. Clutch down, yeah, go. Trying to minimise the times I press the clutch, because I want it all to bed in nicely on that repaired crank first face bit. It's the 7th of January today. Where's that Range Rover going? You have to watch it because people cut across into that place on the left, because there's a Costa Coffee there. Let's go mad and put the sidelights on. Let's live. Good. I think I may have time this right, I may have to stop. That's good. Top gear. It's around about 8 degrees today. C, 8 degrees C. We're running about 45 psi, just loafing along at this road speed. And the temperature hasn't warmed up yet on the engine. There's the price of fuel there, £1.46.9 a gallon. Normal fuel. Petrol, you know. Okay. bloke in front's only got one brake light up. Just take it nice and easy. Hopefully the lights will change by the time we go there. Just knocking into neutral, not sitting with the foot on the clutch. I can't feel anything on the clutch, any pulsing or anything, so that might be a good sign. Oh blimey, I was a bit slow away there, wasn't I? Neutral. Right, that's about 15 psi on the idle, that is. I can hear that gentle whine on that gear. Running about 170 almost. Oh, green go. 170 on the temperature gauge. About another half a gallon of coolant into the engine, so I think I was a bit low on coolant yesterday, that's why the temperature was a bit quick to go up. I just realised I haven't got my sat nav here. Still, we're only running the vehicle in, aren't we? We're running it in TVR. My wiper blade fell apart the other day, but I found one that looks exactly the same, so I've put that on. Don't sit with the foot on the clutch. Pardon me. Don't sit with the foot on the clutch. This road, you end up at Stratford-on-Avon. You see a few hints of rain in the air. Okay, I'm checking my gauges. We're at about 170. Got a quarter of a tank of fuel. We've got 30 psi just running along like this. So we'll have a run down the motorway. Problem is I won't know how fast I'm going. But I'll just place myself against the trucks. They tend to do around about 56 mile an hour. So if I'm just overtaking the trucks, I'm doing just over 56. Doesn't look congested, which it doesn't. Around the sharp bend. overdrive, isn't it? Where's the overdrive on this? Can't see it on the camera. There's an old bulldozer in the field there. I'm thinking I want to do like a first start, old start on it. Oh dear, tyres, you know, exploding. When you're driving along like this, your mind sort of starts thinking about, wait a minute, this motor was all blown apart on the workbench only a few days ago. You know, all the pistons and rods were out. And you think, oh, what's that little noise? You know, is it a rod bearing or... There is a very gentle noise, but I think you get paranoid, don't you? It goes away when I give it a little bit of gas. When you come off. Ambulance. When you're just on the float, there's a light rattle. That's alright, and it feels good, feels strong. Gotta come off there. Might carry on up to the next junction just to keep giving it a run. Guess I'm doing about 60. Speedo stopped working. Officer. The motor sounds a bit happier than the old 59. That crank rod and pistons that I put into that motor were a bit, yeah, looser than you'd like. I've got to turn off a bit. We'll just go around, come back, come off at my junction right there. I mean, this engine, I can detect a very faint rattle. But you know, it's all used pistons. One of the bores is all got lumps on it. Not lumps, no, pits. The piston rings, some of them were broke, so they were just used rings from completely, you know, different engine, different bore size probably. You know, like a 40 thou bore, 45 thou bore or something. Or even a 60 thou bore just filed down to fit. Neutral and sit with my foot off the clutch. Okay, oil pressure at idle is not very good, about 6 psi. I'm in the wrong line. So this oil pump's no good, is it? Okay. It's got oil pressure when it's driving along, so it's alright. Pardon me. stalled it. Held up by other vehicles. Well, I think it's okay, you know. What can you expect? I'll drive it around and, you know. My main point with this is that repair on the crank okay? Like, give me a thumbs up in the next lane. Through the lights for the change. Okay. Select neutral. Can you see the number plate on the car in front? Yes, mum. Yes, mum. Because here in the UK you can't just make things up, it has to fall into the established format, and that's obviously a private, you'd have to pay a lot for one of those. The driver and vehicle licensing place, they sell the numbers, and that's a good one, isn't it? Yes, mum. Okay, right, we'll call it good at that then for this road test, and when we get back to the house I'll open the bonnet and have a quick look under the bonnet and make sure everything looks okay. Righto, thanks very much for joining me on the road test, thanks very much for watching, you know, the crank repair and the engine strip and rebuild and engine swap. It's all good fun in the garage, keeps me busy. Okay, so I'll see you in a few minutes back in the house. There's the oil pressure at idle, hot, about 8 psi. Wouldn't have minded a bit more than that, but you know, hey. This oil pump had low oil pressure in another engine as well. You know, it was like 0 in that engine, in the old plodder. Okay, so that was another little example of, you know, testing components. So this oil pump is on the do not use list. I mean, I'm still happy with that though in this motor, so that's okay. Okay, back in a bit. Right, turn the fan off so we can hear ourselves. Turn the lights off. Runs nice enough, doesn't it? There's a little bit of a unevenness to it. I don't know if I need to clean the plugs or something. It's alright though, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's just an old Flatty. 4.2 litre Flatty. the exhaust looks clean enough, and it's been idling here for a few minutes, so that's alright, I think. Yeah, good. Okay. I'll have to sort of try and rig something up so I can measure the end float on the crank. I'm not quite sure how I'd do it, but yeah. With difficulty, I think. Okay, righto. Yep, all looking good. Can't see any massive leaks or anything. Yeah, I can see where I've made a mess doing the oil fill, but hey. Okay, righto. Okay. A good old truck, innit? Lovely old truck. Well, there you go. There's the old 41 pickup up and running again with, you know, what I hope would be a good reliable engine. What I'm doing is proving out components, and then what I'll do, I'll sit down and take account of all the components that I've got and see what I can put together to make you know, a more high performance engine. I feel like I need a better Flatty, like a Flatty similar to the engine that I took out of that car, the Roadster there, and that I put into the sedan. An engine similar to the spec of that engine before I bought it out to 3 3/8. Okay, righto. Thank you very much for joining me in the garage. I will say what all the YouTubers say. Thank you very much for clicking like. If you haven't subscribed, why not subscribe? It doesn't hurt, and it helps the channel, you know, get views, and it bumps it up in YouTube's algorithms. So thanks a lot for joining me. Take care, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.